Hey, deserving listeners, it's time to continue watching 90 Day Fiancé the other way. Let's watch. My name is Dr. Kirk Honda. I'm a therapist and a professor. As I always say, don't use YouTube as a replacement for therapy. If you need a therapist, get one. You really deserve it. Let's watch the show.
We are done, okay? I had just gotten married, and Evelyn suddenly doesn't want to be with me anymore because she felt I wasn't giving her the attention she desired and needs. She's like, I do not want to see you anymore. We're done.
All right, so at least we heard a little detail about why they broke up that time before he went to Peru. He's, according to him, who knows how accurate it is, he's saying that she broke up with him because she wasn't getting enough attention from him. Interesting. They haven't really gone into what the actual conflicts are between the two of them, other than the fact that he's always really wanted to be with her 100%, and she has been extremely ambivalent from the beginning about not only marrying, but also just being with him at all. So it's an interesting detail we just heard. I wonder if we'll learn more about why they broke up, because those problems probably have persisted into the present.
True. I told Raul that I had a little fling with somebody, but I didn't really tell him the full story. Well, it was a little more serious than I let on.
How serious was it?
It was serious, like she introduced me to her family.
Oh my God, Corey.
What's oh my God? Evelyn broke up with him. He said, get out of my life. So what's the problem? I don't. Only in this relationship would Corey be seen as a problem, right? Because of Corey's blamed for a lot of things. A lot of things are on his head. So let's see what his quote-unquote friend, Raul, will say here. If he's a friend, he'd be like, well, Evelyn broke up with you, right? Yeah. Well, then fine. You met a girl and you met her family. What's the problem?
And we were going to actually get a place together. But Evelyn doesn't know any of that. She just thinks it's like a one-night thing and done, kind of thing.
Oh my God, it sounds like a Venezuelan soap opera. She's gonna freak out when she finds out.
Yeah, that might be true. And she's already been upset about it, which I understand the feelings of, wow, we'd just broken up and then you met someone else like right away. Kind of hurts my feelings. I get that. Makes total sense. But is it rational to blame him for those feelings? I don't think so. According to my cultural pocket, when you break up with someone, they can date whoever they want to date. And they aren't beholden legally, ethically, morally, conventionally to wait a certain amount of time or never date anyone ever again. Or if they do date someone, it should be of a certain level of intensity. They were done. I think I know that they've both established that. Evelyn has gone back and forth in terms of how she has described it, depending on who she's talked to. But there were a few times, at least a couple times, where she's described it clearly as, I broke up with him. Yes, we were done. So what's the problem? Now, how can he talk about this with Evelyn? So I kind of withheld some. I don't even know why he has to tell her, but whatever. So if he feels compelled, he could say, look, I was really sad you had broken up with me. I thought I'd never see you again. And I met this woman and we hit it off and I met her family and we were talking about moving in together. But ultimately, you know what? I didn't really want to be with her. I wanted to be with you. And I know that's kind of shocking, but I was in a bad place and I don't know. I just kind of hit it off with this one person, but she was nothing like you. Some kind of conversation like that, hopefully. And then maybe there's some feelings and some back and forth, but in the end, Corey did nothing wrong in my take on morality, I suppose.
A half ago and had a glove affair with some chick.
It's not even a one-night stand. It's another relationship.
That's just crazy.
I believed that me and Evelyn were 100% done. When I got back to get all my stuff, my surfboards,
Now, as I think I said before, I will hold out for a different cultural understanding of what divorce or marriage means. For some people, even though you're broken up, you are still married and thus can't date other people until you're officially married, sanctioned by the state or the church or something. And thus, that's a problem. And I'm guessing that and I think we even heard something to that extent from Evelin, that is an issue for her. Okay, fine, but Corey's from a different culture, 1. 2, you broke up with him. So he thought it was over. I don't know. Anyway.
Everything that I have here, the pandemic hit. Due to quarantine, me and Evelyn kind of started mending things back together.
And when Evelyn married him, she was, I think, at least somewhat clear that it wasn't a real wedding to her. That she said no when and I didn't show this clip, but when and if we really get married, then we'll have a full ceremony where everyone comes. So by implication, this is not a real wedding, and I'm not really committing to a marriage with you. I'm doing this because you're going to get kicked out of the country if we don't get married, and so I'm just doing this for your visa. It's just a kind of a fake marriage, just to allow you to stay here. So again, another factor in him not necessarily recognizing the marriage to begin with, because she wasn't really recognizing it.
Evelyn, that I did see a girl while I was in Peru. I didn't tell her just how serious it was. I didn't tell her that we were like in any kind of relationship. Dude, I'm so torn right now and I don't know what to do, man. That's why I'm coming to you for help right now.
You're coming to him for help? I mean, in terms of what we've seen on this show, he doesn't have the most helpful perspective or even necessarily your best interest in mind. So, yeah, that's interesting. Let's see what he says.
I think you should man up, go and face Jenny, tell Jenny you're in love with Evelyn.
I want to do that so badly, but...
Wait, what? Isn't this months after the relationship with Jenny was over? Why does he need to go to Jenny? That doesn't... what? No. Why? I mean, fine, I guess, but why? Jenny? So we're going to meet Jenny? Is that the point here on the show?
I feel bad, like... I never actually fully ended things with Jenny. I did cut communication. I was not talking to her for many months. Then I just left it at that. I didn't reach out to her anymore. Once I realized that me and Evelyn did have an opportunity to fix our relationship.
And that's immoral, by the way. You date someone, you're involved, you meet each other, you meet her family, you're talking about moving in together, and then you just ghost her. Uncool. Totally uncool. So that's bad on Corey's end. At the very least, and some people say like, oh, he broke up with me over texting. Yeah, that's not great, but it's better than ghosting. At least inform someone, by the way. Now, best case scenario, you have a conversation and you're like, I'm really sorry, this is what's happening. It's not you, it's me. That conversation, you try to be nice to someone. Call your girlfriend, the song by Robin, that kind of thing.
What do you think, as someone who knows Evelyn very well and someone who knows me very well, what should I do?
But you should do the right thing. After you tell Jenny, you go and face Evelyn.
Yeah, I mean, so far I'm with Raul. Yeah, you should tell Jenny that it's over. Somehow. You should just, I'm sorry I ghosted you. That was totally wrong of me. Maybe you don't care, maybe you do, but yeah, this is what happened. I chickened out. I didn't want to tell you. I'm with someone else now. And then go to Evelyn, I suppose, and tell her the full story. So there's actually kind of a debate about this, about what you should tell in a situation like this when you're in Corey's position. Corey didn't cheat. I don't think by anyone's definition. I don't even think according to Evelyn's definition. So does he even have to tell Evelyn, especially the gory details of the relationship? He could just say, look, I was involved with someone. It wasn't very long. It's over now. It was a rebound thing, and that's all I want to say. I think the Coreys of the world are entitled to say, look, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to tell you her name. It was a short thing. I just want to let you know because, I don't know, it feels like I should tell you. The other thing is I don't even think he would have to tell her. And I think there are different ideas about this, and I don't know exactly what to say, because I think any rule about this can be abused to harm someone. So Evelin breaks up with him. He leaves. He goes to Peru. He meets someone. He comes back to Ecuador, and he's thinking he's just going to gather his stuff up. They essentially rekindle their relationship, and now he's thinking, oh, I was involved with someone. What do I say? Do you have to say anything? Maybe for STI sake, I guess, or maybe she's going to see pictures on Instagram with the two of you that you have to explain a little bit. But, I think there's a boundary. And for sure, I don't think Corey is obligated to tell every detail as if he did something wrong. So, but it sounds like he wants to tell her the full extent because he feels bad that he is withholding that information. Okay.
If you don't tell Evelyn the full truth about Jenny, I'm gonna have to tell her.
So this, I can kind of understand both sides. Corey's like, wait, what? I thought you're my friend. But on the other hand, to triangulate someone like Raul, who is friends with Evelin, and tell him a secret, and then you are asking Raul, please, I might not tell Evelin, so I need you to keep this a secret. That's unfair to Raul, because Raul has a friendship with Evelin. So if you're trying to get someone to keep a secret, you probably shouldn't tell their friend, even if they are your friend. So on one hand, I can understand Raul saying, look, if you don't tell her, I have to tell her, because if you don't tell her and I don't tell her, look, you can do what you want, but that would mean I would be betraying Evelin, and I don't want to do that. So I get that. On the other hand, if you're Corey, you're like, wait, why are you saying it like that? Can't you just be a little nicer, or can't you be a friend to me? But of course, Raul's Evelin's friend too. All right, well, that does it for that episode. If you haven't become a patron of the podcast, you can do so now by going to patreon.com. When you become a patron, you get access to all of our best episodes, really. We have a few hundred episodes that are all of my deep dives where I go in depth on a number of different topics. So if you want to become a patron, that'd be great. And for you current patrons, if you want to become an annual patron, that would also be great, or an upper tier patron, that would even be greater. But totally up to you. And everyone out there, please take care of yourself, because you deserve it. You really, really do.